All right, well, good morning. Welcome to our morning devotions. This is episode 222. I posted 1 Kings 15, 25 through 34. I entitled this one The End of Jeroboam's Line because Baasha wipes out his whole family. This portion of scripture beginning in verse 18 and then to the end of the chapter to verse 34 is about two separate things. The first is that Asa empties out the treasury and buys buys the Syrian army to assist him in attacking Baasha, Israel in the north. So Asa's in the south, and he pays the Syrians to fight for him against Baasha in the north. Okay, that's the beginning of this. The next thing, the second part of this section, is that we learn about the end of Jeroboam's line at the hand of Baasha. All right, that's essentially what we're dealing with. And in verse 24, we have the introduction we have the introduction of Jehoshaphat in verse 24, who is going to follow Asa. All right, so let's just pick it up in verse 18. It says, Then Asa took all the silver and gold that were left in the treasures of the house of the Lord after he had begun to replenish the treasury. He says, in the treasures of the king's house, and delivered them into the hand of his servants. So they sent him by all this money, all this wealth by an envoy. And they sent them to Ben-Hadad, the son of Tabrimon, the son of Hezion, king of Syria, that dwelt at Damascus, saying. So you had an envoy from Judah that went up to Damascus to the king of Syria to talk to Hadad with all this wealth. And it says this, they're going to make a league, which this should not happen. These guys are pagans. But you're going to see this happen all the time. All right. It says, there's a league between me and thee, and between my father and thy father. Behold, I have sent unto thee a present of silver and gold. Come and break thy league with Baasha, king of Israel, that he may depart from me. That is, we're reading about this oppression of Israel down on Judah. He says, you're in cahoots with Baasha in the north. I'm sending you this money so you'll stop doing this. All right? Quit siding with my enemy Baasha in the north. This is what Asa is saying. So it says this in verse 20. So Ben-Hadad hearkened unto King Asa, and sent the captains of the host which he had against the cities of Israel. So now that he's got the money, he's turning on Israel, all right? Because he's just going to the highest bidder. I mean, this is all very capricious. There's nothing to this. This is just pure greed. He emptied out the treasury, he sent it up to the king of Syria, and now he's attacking Israel in behalf of Asa in the south. All right. It says, So Ben-Hadad hearkened unto King Asa, and sent the captains of the host which he had against the cities of Israel, and smote Ijon and Dan, and Abel Beth-Maacah, and all of Chinneroth, and all the land of Naphtali. He's invading. All right. That's what Ben-Hadad here is doing, the Syrian. And then it says this in verse 21. And it came to pass when Baasha heard thereof, when he heard this was happening, he left off building of Ramah. Remember that outpost on the northern tip of Judah, or the southern edge of Israel, this gateway by which he was keeping Israelis from leaving and going down to Judah, Ramah. Well, when this is all happening, he has to give up the building of this fortress and dwelt in Tirzah, which at that time would have been the capital. All right. He said, Then King Asa made a proclamation throughout all Judah. None was exempted. All right. So here's another one of these royal proclamations. And they took away the stones of Ramah. Remember I said, while he's trying to build this fortress in Ramah, they're just going to take it all apart. They don't want this thing on their northern border, all right? So they're going to take it apart. Took away the stones of Ramah and the timber thereof. I mean, they tore the place down. Wherewith Baasha had builded, and King Asa built with them Geba of Benjamin and Mizpah. That is, he took the but raw materials for building this fortress, and he built things that he wanted. All right. So it's like they took it apart and they took the pieces and they moved it to another place and used it for another construction project. All right. So Baasha's out of the picture right now. Baasha's a really bad guy. All right. But this is what's happening now because Asa made this deal with the Assyrians, with Ben-Hadad. And it says, and the rest of all the acts of Asa and all his might and all that he did and the cities which he built, because these kings are noted for being builders, all right? That's what we see. All the cities that he built, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? Nevertheless, in the time of his old age, he was diseased in his feet, all right? So we see this here in this account in Kings. I mean, so I think we find out later more closely what that is, but this is how he ends his life. And it says in verse 24, and Asa slept with his fathers, was buried with his fathers in the city of David, his father. And here we go. And Jehoshaphat, his son, reigned in his stead. So there you got Jehoshaphat. All right, the first introduction to Jehoshaphat. So now we transition. That was all dealing with what was happening in the south. Now we're going up into the north. All right, we just got done talking about Judah in the middle of the chapter. Now we're going to go up into the north and start talking about what's happening up in Israel. All right. And Nadab, the son of Jeroboam, began to reign over Israel in the second year of Asa, king of Judah. Now, remember, Asa reigns for 41 years. I misspoke yesterday. I said that Rehoboam he reigned 40 years, but that was Solomon. Solomon and David both reigned 40. Rehoboam only was 22. So in the second year of Asa, of his 41 years, all right, in his second year, king of Judah, he reigned over Israel only 2 years. Okay, you have these kings that don't last, and there's reasons for it. When you see these short periods of time, in this case, it's assassination. All right, you just have to see what it is. Why they're only there for a bit. And assassination turns out to be a more common means of abbreviating someone's reign. All right, and that's what we see here. So Nadab is the son of of Jeroboam, and he should be the king, but he's only going to reign for 2 years. When Asa's in the south, he's down there for 41. He said, and here we go. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord and walked in the way of his father. That is, he practiced the sins of Jeroboam. He still got these golden calves. The Bible keeps repeating this, and I'm going to repeat it too, because this is now inculcated. It is made part of the fabric of Israeli culture. It's like you have to just wipe this all out, all right, because and all that's happening here is when his boy came on the scene, he didn't change any of that. And in his sin wherewith he made Israel to sin. You see, and there it is, the sins of Jeroboam. And in his sin that he brought in this corrupt, idolatrous system that said these golden calves are Jehovah, Nadab is still engaged in this. And this was, according to the inspired text here, is what led Israel into idolatry. All right, because he made it part of the Israeli culture. And then it says this. This is all, here you go. More violence for my mom out there. It's tough. It said, and Baasha, the son of Ahijah, of the house of Ishkar, conspired against him. So here's somebody else that's conspiring against the king's son. Okay, Nadab. It said, and Baasha smote him at Gibbethon, which belongeth to the Philistines. For Nadab and all Israel laid siege to Gibbethon. So in this siege, Baasha kills Nadab. All right, so he's only on the throne for 2 years. Okay, and here this property belongs to the Philistines. Okay, it says, even in the third year of Asa, king of Judah, did Baasha slay him and reign in his stead. So here we have an assassination, and now Baasha is going to take Nadab's place. Now, of course, Baasha is not related at all to Jeroboam. He's a whole other guy, but he's going to take over. And then we read this. And it came to pass when he reigned that he smote all the house of Jeroboam. And this is what was promised. I'll just keep reading. Any that breathed, until he had destroyed him according unto the saying of the Lord, which he spake by his servant Ahijah the Shilonite. Remember, he said, you're not going to have anybody, they use that term about pissing against the wall, your children. No, your line is going to be brought to an end. Baasha does this. All right. It says, because of the sins of Jeroboam, which he sinned. This is why. He said, in which he made Israel sin by his provocation wherewith he provoked the Lord God of Israel to anger. That is by pointing at a golden calf and saying that's Jehovah, when you're not supposed to have any idols. You're not supposed to, of course, make an idol of Jehovah. You're not supposed to worship a graven image. And Jeroboam goes beyond that to say this graven image, which isn't supposed to even exist, is in fact Jehovah. He violates the law on every level. All right, that is using the Lord's name in vain. That's idolatry. That's saying that there's more than one God that in the heavens, because here he is right here. I mean, on every level, he's a lawless man. Okay, apart from the law of God. And then it says this. So all of Jeroboam's whole line now is over. There's nothing else to talk about here because of what Jeroboam did in bringing this idolatry into the north. Now the rest of the acts of Nadab and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the Kings of Israel? And there was war between Asa and Baasha. All right. So Asa's in the south. He's there for 41 years, and Baasha's in the north. I mean, he comes in the third year of Asa. So, I mean, there's a lot more time. I got 38 years. I mean, Baasha doesn't last that long. But there's these conflicts. I keep saying that there's these constant civil war between Israel and Judah. You would just think that they could get things right, but they don't. It turns out to be a divided kingdom. I mean, it's just terrible what's happened here. And he said, and there was war between Asa and Baasha, king of Israel, all their days. And here we go, verse 33. In the third year of Asa, king of Judah, became Baasha, the son of Ahijah, to reign over all Israel in Tirzah 24 years. Now, listen, that means Asa is still on the throne after Baasha is gone, because he's 41, even minus 3 is 38, and then he serves 24, so you still got 14 years that Asa is serving even after Baasha is gone. You see this overlap when I talk about how many kings are in Israel and how many kings are in Judah, right? And if this king lasts 41 years, or the king in Judah lasts 41 years, how many kings of Israel can fit into that 41-year span? So the king in Judah, in this case is Asa, is watching king after king. So first he's going to say, I watched Nadab. Nadab came on the scene. Well, first, Nadab comes on the scene, and then Baasha comes on the scene, and then you have the next, that's coming within that 41-year reign. And it said, and this is talking about Baasha then, and he did evil in the sight of the Lord. These are the kings of Israel. They are corrupt men. And he did evil in the sight of the Lord and walked in the way of Jeroboam. This walking in the way of Jeroboam, you never want your name in the Bible connected with Jeroboam because of what he did. This is over and over and over repeated in the Bible as God reinforces in us in an Old Testament way how he abhors idolatry. Thou shalt have no other God before me. And we read that in an Old Testament context, but that means your lawn, your cars, your boat, whatever you have, your job, anyone, no one is supposed to become between you and God. You are not to place anyone between you and God. And this is an Old Testament illustration of how God is a jealous God, properly jealous, and that he wants first place in your life. He demands first place in your life. And he doesn't want us looking for other things to put our weight in and our confidence in our trust in. Asa, as great as a king he was, I mean, and he's a maneuverer here, to go after Baasha, but it's better to trust God than the strength of men or the strength of horses, you see. that's in principle, that's what we're looking at here. And it's repeated so we can't miss it. Except if you don't read this stuff because you say, it's just gobbledygook, then we don't catch that. All right. So this is a really short devotion, much shorter than I normally do. I think you might appreciate this today. I had one saint at the church said that she used to watch my devotions because I could usually cut off about 20 minutes, and that's how long she was on the treadmill. And then I've been doing about 30 minutes. I don't know if that's keeping her on the treadmill any longer or not, or what. But this is a 15-minute devotion, and I think I hit everything I needed to hit at this half of the chapter. So it's Friday. The Lord bless you. I just have had a great morning. I told you I had my paper that I was ready to submit, but I'm still editing it. Okay, and I did send it to Pete to get this going, but I told him just to hang on because I have had such a great time editing this thing, and and my wife even sees it. I've had a great morning. I've been working on that thing ever since I got up, like for hours. So I can't wait to get this thing published. Okay. For some, I think I'm going to be a hero, and some I'm going to be the goat when we get this done. And then I told Annette, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It depends who reads it. Okay. I'm going to be the hero or the goat no matter what. That's just what you get when you write something. Anyway, it's been a great morning, and I trust the same for you. So the Lord bless you. It's Friday. What are we looking at? We're looking at May 2nd already. And I mentioned yesterday that we're heading sometime on Sunday. We're heading down up to Northern Virginia, and we won't be coming back until Wednesday. And I'm just saying that it may not be possible for me to get devotions for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of next week. So if it's not there, it'll give you time to catch up on anything that you might have missed. Okay. And I told my pastor this too, because not everybody does the Facebook thing. All right. But I upload or download all of these from Facebook, and they are on our YouTube channel. That's Providence Baptist Church, Manassas, Virginia. If you just put in Providence Baptist Church, there's a zillion of them. But if you put in Providence Baptist Church, Manassas, Virginia, then that will come to our page on YouTube that has all of these things. So if you have friends that don't do Facebook, all that stuff is on YouTube. All right. So okay. Well, the Lord bless you. You have a great day, and Lord willing, well, I'll for sure see you on Thursday. All right. But that's about all I'm going to say concretely. Okay. All right. Lord bless you. We'll see you. Bye.